Hello and welcome to Enjoy an Album with Liam with now Christopher McArthur Boyd, and this week we're back on that guest shit.
We got a guest, fantastic American comedian living in Edinburgh. I know you don't like it when I say that people who live in Edinburgh aren't where they're from. I consider you an English person, even though you've lived here for a decade.
Longer
than a decade, you're still English.
Why don't I like that? Have I said I don't like that?
Yeah, you're always like, but if a Sudanese person was here, you wouldn't call them not Scottish because that would be racist. But
I don't think I've ever said anything like that.
This is what you say to me in my dreams.
Okay. Yeah, we've got Krystal Evans on to talk about one of her favourite albums and album from the Rolling Stones Top 500 Greatest Albums of All Time list. It's Green Day's Dookie.
Yeah, well, there's people who moan about the list being gone, fuck the list.
Yeah, listen.
Fuck you. No, sorry.
The numbers don't lie, okay? There's a small minority that wish we'd go back to the list. That small minority, quite frankly, can suck my dong. What do you think of that?
Kiss
yeah, give it a little kiss.
But listen, we're not all about kind of sexually charged
we are
comebacks to criticism.
Yeah, we are. That is a lot of what we are about. That is our main driving force.
We've got a fantastic comedian here talking about Green Day with us, Krystal Evans. You can listen. She's told me not to plug this, but you can listen to her Roseanne-based podcast that I can't remember the name of, but it's very funny.
Great plug. I think it's finished. I think that's why I didn't.
Oh yeah, they don't do it anymore.
Yeah.
But wow. it's a good laugh if you like Roseanne. I'll tell you that. And go see her at the Fringe. She's doing a Fringe show this year called The Hottest Girl at Burns Camp.
A burn camp. Burns camp will be a camp where you study Rabbi Burns.
No, it's Montgomery Burns, the Simpsons character, as created by Conan O'Brien. What are you laughing at?
Anyway, listen, very exciting. In just over a week's time, the Patreon launches. We recorded the first bonus Patreon episode today. This comes with the Patreon straight off. Right? Yeah. As soon as you sign up, you get the first Patreon bonus episode. It's there. It's waiting for you from Feb 1st. It'll be Robbie Williams, Sing When You're Winning.
You only sing when you're winning.
It's a really fun episode. Patreon benefits will include, first off, no annoying adverts for Patreon unnamed grooming products.
Unnamed grooming products.
You get 2 extra episodes a week. You get to maybe have a little vote on some of the albums we're going to cover in the future.
Voter integration.
We're going to do some long, deep dives into certain other big bands that we want to talk about.
Deep Pan Pizza.
Yes. And you get 24-hour early release on the episodes as well.
24 hours early release.
Pre-show access. Pre-show access? I mean, pre-sale access, not pre-show access.
You can come backstage and go, what's going on? And then...
Don't come to us backstage.
Oh, that's weird.
Other than that, also just you get to support the podcast. We have invested more money than we should have into pursuing this podcast, and it would be nice to not be making a loss. Is that a bad thing to say? I've said it now. So anyway, the Patreon's launching next week.
Patreon is built on a culture of soundness. If you enjoy the album, if you like
any album, then sign up to.
If you enjoy the podcast and you think that we should get paid for the work, that's cool. If you don't enjoy it or if you can't afford it, don't worry about it.
Yeah, no, don't worry about it. We don't want to be.
Don't worry about it.
Don't be bankrupting ourselves for this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although some would say that this is more nourishing than some food, I guess.
What's more nourishing? Beef?
Or art?
Or art? Is this art? What's more nourishing? Beef criticism or arts criticism?
Enjoy a beef. Enjoy this episode in which
beef.
There is, there is some beef brought
beef
up.
Chat, yeah.
Yeah, and some other meats brought up, as well as a classic album by a punk band Green Day. So have fun with that. And we'll see you after. This week's episode is brought to you by our friends at Manscaped, the #1 in below-the-belt grooming. Both Christopher and I have upped our grooming game significantly in the last 2 months. Just before we recorded, we were both admiring each other's nude bodies. Utterly hairless, clean, beautiful.
I'm like a dolphin.
Like a dolphin with a boy's penis.
Which some of them have.
Well, the boy ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although, have you ever seen a shark? Never mind, we're going to do an episode. Have you ever seen a shark's penis? It looks crazy. It's like a vagina. And
Really?
then the shark's vagina looks like a penis. And you
Wow.
think, what's going on with these sharks? But regardless, we're sponsored by Manscaped, and you should. It's not just below the belt as well. It's also above the nostril.
I used a nasal hair trimmer for realsies.
On my head as well, in my ear.
Do you get ear hair? So I haven't entered the ear hair stage of my life yet, but I do get.
What do you mean? I'm not older than you. What are you talking about ear stage?
Yeah, but we're all through different stages of our lives. Yeah, but I don't have ear hairs. You do. So we have different stages.
What do you mean? Yeah, did you notice?
Did I notice your ear hair?
Yeah.
No, you just told me that you've used it on your ears.
Good.
I used it on my nose, and I was like, wow, this shit bangs.
No, but people were saying to me, they were like, you look like you got a daddy long legs in there, and its legs are hanging out. And now, I mean, I feel
Now,
great.
what are they saying now?
They're saying, whoa, your nostrils are so smooth. And I actually have a weird shaped nose that some people bring up to me when I'm drunk and I get angry at them.
Your nose is...
Just the nostrils are kind of like diagonally oval or something, you know? Not nice. I want a round nostril, like all my heroes.
When you have visible nostrils, you don't want hair in there.
Dude, honestly, it was disgusting. People were bringing it up, and then I used this product, and my nostrils have never felt better.
I've spoken before about I'm wearing the Manscaped boxers today because they are my favourite boxers. They're so comfortable. Whenever I've had a wash done, they're now premium first pair I wear before the next wash gets done. Every single time.
They're in the top 3 for me.
Great. So, hey, how do you get smooth nostrils, ears, and wonderful boxer shorts and a nice trim set of knackers? Well, you get the Manscaped kit. Get it on the manscaped.com. Use our code ALBUM20. You get 20% off. We continue to get sponsored. They continue to pay for the studio. We have a good time all together, okay? One of the best ways you can support your favourite podcast and your own bollocks is by going to Manscaped and using the code ALBUM20. Do it now or after the episode, preferably after the episode.
And also, if you don't have balls and you're a lady, or you're a lady with balls, or a man who doesn't have them, whatever your configuration is, you can use this.
Whatever your configuration is, you can use this. And that's the Enjoy an Album promise.
You're listening to Enjoy an Album, the podcast where two comedians listen to some of the greatest albums of all time.
The album that jump-started the 90s punk pop revival, the skittish Dookie, was recorded in little more than 3 weeks, and singer-guitarist Billy Joe Armstrong blazed through all the vocals in 2 days. Right from getting the drum sound, everything seemed to click. Their A&R man and Dookie producer Rob Cavallo marvelled. Indeed, click is the operative word here, and describing Armstrong's airtight 3-minute bow shots like Welcome to Paradise, Basket Case, and the infectious smash Longview, which Armstrong described as cheap self-therapy from watching too much TV. So there we have it. It's a Rolling Stone.
What number?
They're 375 on the greatest
That's
albums
not low enough.
of all time. Well, I mean,
It was 193 when I looked.
oh, really?
That might have been 2012.
You're a little bit older than us, aren't you? Krystal?
Wow. Wow.
Welcome to the podcast, Krystal Evans.
They were
First ever walkout.
Thank you so much.
You're being rude.
they weren't recording when they called me a bitch 10 times
call
before we
anybody a
How
started.
dare you say that?
I don't use gendered language. I'm
Thank
a
you
very,
very much.
PC guy.
That's so rude.
Bitch.
It is just above Robert Johnson's King of the Delta Blues singers.
From Johnson to Dookie.
Yes,
Story
yes.
of music.
Absolutely. We're very happy to have. This is Krystal's selection. One of your favourite albums? fair
Oh
to
yeah,
say?
yeah, definitely. Yeah,
Okay.
one of my faves.
And when did you first?
Had you ever heard of Green Day before this week?
I googled it right before I came in, and I was
Yes.
like, "This sucks." Let's talk about
Yeah.
it. No, I actually the first album I had was Nimrod because I was, oh man, this was 1994, so I was 8 years old, so I don't remember really it coming out.
So you got into Green Day later.
Oh yeah, and then I went backwards. When I was 13, there was this scam in America. It wasn't really a scam, but it was like you can get 13 CDs for a penny.
That sounds like a scam.
It was. Well, you could really
Was it
get
called the American Music Club?
I don't remember. It was something like that, though. But they had all these stamps. They looked like stamps. And then on each stamp was an album.
Right.
So you could pick all these albums out of this massive magazine. And it was really fun to break the stamps out and put them all on the thing. And you pick 13 albums. And then they would send them all to your house for a penny. But you had to give your credit card information. And then they would then they would send you shit every month endlessly.
There's the rub. Okay.
Yeah. So Nimrod was one of the ones that I ordered.
But you got it for a penny.
I did. Well, I got it for 1/13 of a penny.
And then eventually they start charging more?
Well, they just send you
just keep doing
albums every single month and then charge you the full $13.99 or whatever it costs. Like 2 albums a month. So you're paying $27 a month against your will.
Okay.
For whatever album they decide to send to you.
Did you get any other cool albums that way that you're like, oh, actually this
it was probably pretty predictable for a 13-year-old in 1999.
Right.
It was like Jagged Little Pill.
Oh, yeah.
Third Eye Blind.
Okay.
Blink-182.
So that's interesting because I first heard Green Day. My brother liked them and he had them on cassette tape.
Yeah.
But I listened to Sum 41 and Blink-182.
Mm-hmm.
This is like they're between albums. This is before American Idiot. Where they were having a little bit of a downturn, I guess.
Yeah.
A bit of a break. They're not smashing it like they were with Dookie and Nimrod.
Yeah, Warning.
I think what people don't
well.
appreciate is that Green Day put out their greatest hits right before American Idiot.
Yeah.
As if to say, that's us.
We
over.
definitely peaked.
Yeah, and then they put out their biggest selling albums.
Yeah.
So I liked Blink-182 and Sum 41. My brother liked Green Day. So I was like, well, that's more my brother's thing. So I'm not really going to listen to that. Although they had that one song that I liked that he always used to play called Deadbeat Holiday. You know that song?
Yeah.
Wake up, the house is on fire, and the cat's gone in the dryer. And I thought, that's hilarious.
There's a moose loose about this house. Is that kind of vibe? That wine gums advert.
It is the same. It is the same. It's the American equivalent.
That makes sense with your humor, actually.
Yeah. I'm always doing bits about animals being caught in different apartments. Oh, fuck me, the dog's in the attic. All sorts of stuff. But then American Idiot came out, right? And
what a record.
Well,
yeah.
Okay, here's the thing. At this point, I'd left Blink-182, Sum 41 behind.
You weren't a pop punk kid anymore.
I was just gravitating into me and my friends listening to indie from the 80s. This is when we started listening to the Smiths, okay?
Yeah.
And prior to that, when I listened to Blink-182, Sum 41, no other kids in the school listened to that.
Really?
It was just me at that point. Me and my friend Pete, right?
Pete?
Not even Pat. We're talking about pre-Pat. We're talking about Pete, okay? It was me and Pete before it was me and Pat. Let me fucking tell you now.
Pat.
Yeah, well, he's a very close friend of mine.
Sorry.
So I still play D&D with Pat, so please don't say that. Okay?
Pat's a bitch.
Wow. Okay. Wow. He's Dungeon Master for our campaign in Fallondin at the moment. He's doing a really good job, so that's really offensive.
Shout out to Pat.
Shout out to Pat, please.
Shut up.
Okay, just had a kid, actually.
And he's running a
you.
Dungeons and Dragons campaign. Get your priorities right, Pat.
He's a very multi-talented man. Anyway, this isn't the Enjoy a Pat podcast, although I would host that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dungeons and Dragons gets people pregnant.
Yeah,
Pat.
absolutely. Yeah, okay. He fucking knows his shit, right?
Okay.
He anyway, right? Me and Pete, we listened to the rock music. Okay, we thought we were grunge. It was actually pop punk, whatever.
The rock music.
In Dagenham, that was enough.
Yeah.
Okay, everyone else was listening to the charts, and then out comes Green Day of American Idiot. Suddenly the tide turns. Emo, right? Blink-182 have changed. They've released I Miss You. They're all wearing eyeliner. And suddenly they're like the cool thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I've been here this whole time, baby.
Yeah.
And I've moved on. And now you got this group of kids who previously would make fun of us.
Yeah.
Now they're wearing eyeliner and straightening their hair, dyeing it black. And now they're emo. I'm like, fuck you. And so Green Day, in my head, is associated with that betrayal of the society.
A lot of people have felt that they betrayed. We'll get into that later on, I'm sure.
Well, yeah. So American Idiot is unpleasant time for me. I remember thinking at the time, this is kind of basic.
We're not talking about American Idiot, we're talking about Dookie.
We were talking about previous history with the band.
Oh, okay, yeah. Sorry.
So that is my relationship with Green Day summed up. And yours, Christopher?
So my big sister, when she was just getting into rock music, she liked Muse. She liked kings of Leon's first 2 albums.
Great
and
albums.
She loved Green Day. She had, don't think she'd like me talking about it because she's quite embarrassed of those days, I'm sure. But we got the basket case video downloaded on the family computer, and I would watch it on repeat.
Wow.
I was blown away. I think it's a perfect introduction to anybody. Is just like this guy being crazy, starts playing his guitar, they wheel the drummer in on the wheelchair, and he's like, not sure. It's like, does I give myself? And then, oh, great stuff, man.
So you were into him from the first time you saw it. You were like,
Basket Case and Longview, I was into it. But then when I went to high school, I got into heavy metal, and I was like, this is weak shit. And I felt like that guy called David in the year below, because he said he liked Green Day, and I said, Green Day fucking sucks.
Love saying things suck in high school.
Yeah.
I love, you know what I mean?
Usually it's more about the person than the band. You're like, I think you suck.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say the thing you like sucks, because there's less of a reason to punch me.
I had a Saturday
punched me
job at a guitar shop in Romford.
I'm sure did.
And one day I looked up to the guys who worked in the shop because they were like cool guys. They lived on their own, not with their parents, and they had sexy rock chick girlfriends.
Wow.
Yeah. And one of them one day, American Idiot, when it came out, one of them was, Green Day, fuck, I just hate simple music.
I like complicated music.
And you better believe next Monday I was back in the playground saying the exact same thing.
Yeah, of course.
But I just hate simple music. People are like, wow, this guy really knows his music. And they were right.
Yeah.
I do.
Krystal.
So you guys hate Green Day?
No. Well, since then I've went back and listened to Dookie, and I love it. And
Spoiler.
pardon the pun. Well, no pun. Really.
No,
There's a pun
there's
in
no
there.
pun there. No puns.
Pardon the pun. So I love this record, and I love some of their other stuff. What's on Nimrod? Is that what you're talking about?
Oh,
Nimrod?
it's good time of your life.
Which I was
Didn't
watching
rhyme.
the second last episode of Seinfeld recently.
Yeah. See, that's why I knew that song,
Yeah.
and that's why I ordered it, because it was on everything.
Yeah.
It was on everything, and it was
I
at
hope
every.
you had the time of your life.
They played it at my high school graduation.
They played it at everybody's
Everything.
high school graduation,
Yeah.
apparently. Because
I
it was
mean,
called
God, I'm so
graduation.
sick of it.
They organised a high school graduation for my high school just to play that song.
Just
Yeah.
I hope you have the time of your life.
Liam Gallagher accused, maybe it was Noel Gallagher, accused Blink-182 of stealing the one, but that was like, you've nicked Wonderwall, basically.
I
That's
think
what
he
he said about
probably
that
did.
song.
really.
Yeah.
I'd have to play them side by side.
I mean, it's just a guy on an acoustic guitar. You
Yeah.
can't claim that.
No, but
Oasis.
Oasis began that, didn't they?
They invented the guitar. Yeah.
They'd never played. Nobody played
A
guitar.
guy on acoustic guitar singing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sadly.
That's them.
No one had done that before Neil Gallagher fell out of his mum.
Yeah.
So fell out. So would you describe these as one of your favorite bands?
Yeah.
And would you say you are well informed about them, or is it just their music, or
Is
are you
this gonna
someone
be
who?
quiz? Are you gonna give me a quiz?
I'm not going to give you a quiz. No. I'm just curious as to how. I mean, because when I enjoy a band, one thing I like to do is
Go through their back catalog.
I fucking dig through their bins trying to find out all dirty information about them. You know what I mean? Or do you separate? Do you just enjoy the music, or are you like, I want to know everything about this person?
I definitely did more research knowing that I was coming on here with you guys, because I knew you'd be dicks and like figure out if I was actually an actual real fan.
Wow, projecting much.
Project?
We've not fucking said anything derogatory
Call her a
about
bitch
Krystal's
twice.
potential knowledge. I didn't call her a bitch any time. So
She came in the door.
It's a
like,
running
"Bitch."
theme already.
I didn't say any such thing. Okay?
No, I did go back and listen to Kerplunk, and I really liked that a lot. And I definitely got into Kerplunk more as an adult, because I don't know, obviously when you're a teenager, things on the radio just get to you more, I guess. So I just and yeah, I don't know. Some of their later albums I'm not like, I've definitely listened to all of them.
When do you think they got shit?
Probably after like the Uno Dos Tre thing. Yeah. It's
I
just
love that one. I was like,
Revolution Radio is
21
so bad.
Releasing 3 albums at once is
It's a bit mental.
it's not a good idea, is it? It's a not. Well, sorry, it is a good idea, but it's like hard to pull off. Obviously,
It's not good if you.
It's like you could have just made one and picked all the best ones out of all 3 albums.
I think they were trying to do what Beach House did on the last record, which is if you do 1, 2, 3, it means that the album launch is spread out across more weeks. So
Yeah.
the coverage of music's changed. So they're trying to go like, let's launch this new record for 3 3 months, and then maybe people will talk about it more.
And that is punk as fuck.
That's
I
punk
think.
AF.
Yeah, perfect. Making your music to the whims of the record industry release schedule, I think, is punk as fuck.
They totally do all that though.
Yeah,
they're very corporate-y. I hate to say.
No, well,
I love Green Day, but
this is one of the early criticisms from this album.
Yeah.
Dookie, this was their first album signed to a major record label, and that upset the punk scene where they're from very much. Yeah, they were written about in magazines if they had sold out. But
I think I don't know. I know we're not getting to Secret Posho yet, but I just have a little...
Secret Posho, secret Posho. You do it fast and it feels like no show. Got no money, you got those bro. Secret Posho.
Is that supposed to be
No,
Billy?
I've got a new voice.
I've got a new voice.
He's updated the voice. I'm not a fan of it.
I felt the first one was a little bit racially charged, and I thought, let's just... Oh, my agent's phoning me. Sorry. Calling Green Day corporate.
Oh, you're not going to get it. Oh, that's so sweet.
Krystal Evans, the biggest bitch in Scottish comedy here. Yeah, go ahead. You think we're going to do that?
I think it's mad that you think the Secret Posho was racially charged. I don't think. Did you ever think that there was any kind of race element to the
No, I
voice you used to do?
listened. No, I've
It's
never
just
have.
whispering.
It's not whispering, it's rapping.
It's not
Secret
rapping.
Posho. It's like a Secret Posho. You do it fast and it feels like it's like a
It sounds
K-pop
like
rapper.
Beastie Boys, if anything.
Oh,
Yeah.
they're white.
I know.
I'm white.
Yeah, I think.
You're
think
what?
I just realised.
What?
Huh?
Okay.
So
I forget what I was saying. I don't remember.
Sorry, he's saying over. You were saying. I don't know if we're getting into Secret Posho yet, but it was something to do with the corporatization of.
Yeah, I don't know. This is probably just me like apologizing for a band I like, but I just think that because I think they're not Secret Poshos. That I think Billy especially. I think whenever there's an opportunity, they take it. You know what I mean? They're like, yeah, we want to get more and better, and you know what I mean. We don't want to ever like be that base level like poor that they came from. You know what I mean?
Here's what Elvis Costello said in a VH1 interview. He was like, well, actually it's one of the band. Elvis Costello was in it, and so was Jacoby Shaddix from Papa Roach, but let's not talk about that. One of the band was like, he was saying to one of the punks in the little kind of squat venue where Green Day was born from in San Francisco, and he was like, who's your favourite bands? And they were like, the Sex Pistols and the Ramones and the Clash. And he was like, they're all signed to major labels. And
Yeah.
was like,
Yeah.
You wouldn't know about them unless they'd had,
Exactly.
There's a difference, and also, I mean, what they said at the time when they signed to the major label to face the criticism is like it's genuinely also just like we need a bigger label to deal with the amount of records we're selling.
Absolutely. And like there's an argument to say as well that like 924 Gilman Street, where they started in Berkeley and stuff, they didn't say fuck you, you're not welcome here anymore. They were just like, no, this is a space for like,
DIY.
Yeah, and it's just like you guys don't need us anymore. And we're going to protect our space, not because we hate you guys, but because we want to keep this what it is, which is like independent, small potatoes kind of thing, and a safe space for
You can imagine the gatekeeping in the punk community is one of the worst.
Well, so here's the issue is that in California in that time, in the 80s, leading up to them forming, there was like the hardcore punk community, and then there was like the more emotional punk, kind of indie type stuff. And they weren't the hardcore punk stuff like Black Flag, where it's all like macho and stuff, whereas there was a kind of...
Well, Husker Du was a bit more emotional, right?
But they were in Minnesota, you know what I mean? They were like up in the middle of nowhere.
Okay.
This is like... So, but the guy who ran the venue, Tim Yohannan, who is the Marxist founder of Maximum Rock and Roll magazine, he didn't let them play there because they were too poppy when they weren't even famous.
Yeah.
And then they convinced them, and they were like, come on, let's play. And then everybody loved them. And then Billy Joe Armstrong try to keep he supports the venue now, but all the people who own the venue have to have a meeting every time someone who's signed to a major label wants to play there. Right. To allow it.
The fucking Marxists, man. They never get anything done.
Oh, they hate this guy, Tim Yohannan. So Tim Yohannan, one of the most influential music writers of all time in punk in America, right? But he hated Green Day, and then Billy Joel tweeted on February 17th, 2011, The song Platypus was written for Tim Yohannan, and I pray to God I misspelled his name. Rest in shit, you fucking cunt.
Ooh.
While the guy was dying of a disease that he then died for.
Wow.
So
Now that's punk.
Unhinged.
Yeah, definitely.
Unhinged Twitter comment of the week.
Right, let's actually do Secret Posho. Billy Joe Armstrong. I've written Billy Joe Armstrong, or at least it all corrected to that. His dad was a jazz musician and a trucker for Safeway. We used to have Safeway in this country.
Can I just say, there's only 2 places in the whole world where Safeway exists. Where I'm from, in Seattle, and here in Scotland. So weird. It's the same company.
Sorry, weird. Cobin's got his hand up. Hello, Cobin. Oh, there you go. So you've brought wrong facts to the episode. You bitch!
I think Cobin's lying.
This isn't enjoy a Safeway, to be fair.
Sorry.
No, we didn't. No, I'm on your side. We didn't research Safeway coming into this.
Yeah, my brother used to work for Safeway. My older brother.
No way.
There was one in England. There were many in England. That closed
never
down.
mind. I think I'm wrong.
I used to go to the soft play in the Safeway.
That's a different thing. Oh right, okay. I thought you were just
Safeway
naming rhyming places.
I used to go to the Softway and the Safeway.
I used to go to
The
Subway.
down by Maui.
Subway.
And it was great because they had 3 Sega Mega Drives. And the people the ladies who worked there, who at the time seemed old, but now in hindsight they probably were like 18 or something. They were always like, why don't you go and play and like go on the slide and in the ball pit? And I was like, I'm playing Sonic Spinball. Fuck off.
Is that when you were like 3?
Now that's punk. That is punk.
I was there too old actually.
His dad died when Billy was 10 years old. That's what Wake Me Up When September Ends is about, because his dad died in September. His
Not
mum,
about September 11th.
yeah, which is our favourite subject in the podcast.
No, but people thought it was. They
I
were
never
like,
thought about that. Did people think that? I never
'cause
thought that.
American Idiot was all right
Yeah, it was
after.
about
It was
George
like
W.
Bush is a
Bush.
fucking dick. You know?
Can he say that?
I wanna be in America. So that everybody was like, "Oh, wake me up because you want the war on terror to be over," and he was like, "No, my fucking dad's
My
dead.
daddy.
You cunt loser,
You bitch.
bitch."
His mum worked at a barbecue restaurant called Rod's Hickory Pit, and I have to say,
know Posho?
I have never wanted to go to a barbecue restaurant more than when I read the name Rod's Hickory Pit. Open 24 hours.
Can I just have a new segment for us right now?
Yeah.
What is your ideal order at the Hickory Pit?
Yeah.
Oh well, I love a big ribs.
A big ribs.
A big
Yeah,
ribs, please.
big ribs, and barbecue sauce.
They just come in one size.
Well, it depends on the size of what the rib is being taken from, surely.
Mouse ribs are quite small.
What I like in America is you can get macaroni as a side,
Yeah.
which
yeah.
it's not so much a thing here. People have macaroni as a main in this country.
No, it's a side.
So macaroni as a side, and
Talk to my dad about it.
obviously
Makes it
maybe some sweet potato, sweet potato fries.
Okay.
You don't like sweet potato?
They're fine.
Yeah, okay.
They're not as good as normal potatoes.
Now you say it, some normal potatoes will be good as well.
Wait a second. You have normal?
But
Sorry.
I'd be you know what, if I was going to Rod's, is it Rod's Hickory Pit? If I was going to Rod's Hickory Pit, I'd be talking to Rod. I'd just say, get Rod out here. I want the specialty. I went to a barbecue at Krystal's, and your partner
Oh, yeah.
made some fucking brisket or some shit.
Yeah, it was brisket. You called it ribs, but it wasn't.
I think everything's ribs. I think everything's ribs on
You
the
show up to
side.
every
no
event and go,
bones
I would
in
like a big ribs, please.
A big
People just guess me.
Those big ribs.
A big rib, please. Ribbed for my pleasure.
We actually forgot about the ribs
Yeah.
until like halfway through. Everybody was already full on chicken and burgers. And
Brisket was amazing. So I'd
Yeah.
have brisket. I'd have, yeah.
Brisket, whatever.
Does that answer your question? I don't think it's.
What about you?
Burnt ends. Those are good. Coleslaw.
Was burnt ends? Have you set your hair on fire?
Yeah, I'd be like, set my hair on fire, please.
Hey, Rod, come over here.
Where's Ron?
Burnt ends.
Corn on the cob. I like corn on the cob
Yeah.
with lots of butter. I like mac and cheese also.
I'm a big corn on the cob head.
Are you really?
I'm a cob head.
Yeah, you're fucking corn cobs.
I like getting the little sideway pins that go into a corn on the cob.
Yeah.
When they're
That look
shaped
like corns.
corn, and you're like, what bit am I supposed to eat here? Here's an issue. I've had the corn on the cob, and I won't even. Oh, we've spent too much time.
Rod's Hickory.
Yeah, we've spent too much time on that.
Wait, let me
but-
say something. Sorry, go ahead. You go. Yeah. Sorry.
Thank you.
Thank you
Where-
for letting me speak on my own podcast. Thank you.
Where is it written that you're supposed to eat through the whole baby corn.
Right.
Because I was a kind of new adopter to baby corn, and I was
Okay.
just trying to eat it
You
like a wee
enough.
tiny cob. And then
That's
someone
not a
was
movie,
like,
isn't it?
Is it?
Somebody does
The
that,
story of my life. It's not been made yet, but we're talking to producers. And yeah, but then like with those little, like, do you know those little, what are those carrots called that are like not baby carrots but they're small?
Smaller than baby carrots.
Yeah, do you know the ones?
Tiny baby carrots.
You put honey
They're
on
called
them?
baby carrots.
No, there's like another kind, a French name.
Look, you're getting into some Russian doll situation. Just like smaller and
Nobody
smaller
knows.
A
carrots.
French kind.
But you're not supposed to eat the tops of that. And it's like, how are you supposed to know this stuff?
You can though. You can eat
People were
carrot
laughing
tops.
at me.
So I'm going to say no posho, right?
No
Okay.
bullshit.
However,
The suburban kids. The suburban kids.
However, if we're talking about nepo babies, where was Green Day's first ever gig? At Rod's Hickory Pit.
Oh no!
How do you think they got that gig?
Nice one, Billy.
My whole world is shattered right
Full
now.
disclosure.
This is just like when we found out the LCD sound system fucking funded terrorism or whatever
Yeah,
it is.
Raytheon. No, they dropped bombs on shepherds.
Mike Dirnt went to a private Catholic school for a while.
Nothing wrong with that.
I mean, that's,
Really? I didn't know that.
but then
You don't like Catholics?
that's not the issue. That's not the issue that I have here. But then I think had a broken family life as well. So he ended up in a rodeo. The town is called Rodeo, named after all the rodeos that happen there.
Rodeo. No.
Yeah, it's rodeo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But it's named after all the
It's in
rodeos.
California.
Yeah.
Rodeo. Yeah.
So that's like a lot of Mexican people there. They probably say it different.
Right. Okay. People
Made that
from
up.
different places do have different voices. I
Yes.
can't deny
Mike
it.
Dunn. I fell in love with him this week.
Really.
Yeah. The bass line on Longview.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, but then I was watching him talk about how he got into like punk music and became a punker. And he
Is that what
was-
they're called? Punkers?
Yeah.
Right. Have you ever heard that?
Nope.
Nope.
Oh, good.
I guess we're not punkers.
I didn't want to say it. And your mid-doon mocked her shit. But he was saying that he first got into bass. His favourite, the bass player that got him into playing bass was the same bass player that got me into playing bass. My two favourite bass players are Tina Weymouth from the Talking Heads. That's not who he dug. Cliff Burton, the original Metallica bass player. And they both play the same Rick and
Cliff Button.
Burton.
Okay.
Fuck.
Okay.
Who's Cliff Burton?
What? I don't know. That's what I was
Sounds
asking.
like a wee baby toy.
That's why I brought it up. I thought it was a very funny noise for a metal bassist to be called Cliff Button.
No, he's a very phenomenal. And they have there's a bass solo by Cliff Burton on the first Metallica album, Kill 'Em All, called Pulling Teeth,
Right.
which made me think maybe it's a wee tribute to him because he died by the time this came out. He was in a bus accident in Norway, and he fell out the bus, and
No.
the bus fell over and landed on him.
Oh my god.
Yeah, the worst way to die.
Hang on. He fell off the bus, and then the bus fell off after him. Are you sure that's what happened?
So
Was it-
how's it?
so
Funny?
was he the Metallica bassist,
It's
or was
not
he
funny.
Wild E.
It's
Coyote?
not, but it's-
And then his mate
The
died by
bus-
running into a painting of a road.
the
He was walking off a cliff. And
This guy means a
he
lot
just
to
kept
me.
on walking.
He held up a sign saying, "Uh-oh."
He looked down and
the bus was made by the Acme Company, which is what made me
I'm sorry.
suspicious.
How does a bus fall over?
Well, the bus driver insists that there was black ice on the road, but James Hetfield walked 3 miles back and didn't find any black ice.
Yep.
And tried to lift the bus up.
This is
with
why
bare
you
hands
should
that didn't
always
work.
say "thank you, driver" when you get off the bus. It was the bus driver's revenge. That bassist, that Longview bass line, Mike Durst wrote that whilst he was tripping on LSD. Apparently,
comes across
Mm-hmm.
kind of circular.
these guys they're all like, this album is like.
Big druggy.
Were you
album.
a bit of a stoner in your time?
Yeah, from like age 19 to 21, I was high like the whole time.
And was that when you listened to these?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is like a stoner's
That's
album.
what Green Day means. It's a Green Day.
Yeah.
Oh, what the fuck!
Yeah. It's just a weed reference.
I only just realised that.
Really?
Yeah.
That's sick.
I never thought about it before.
Every
So
day
I
was
said to, because the last guest we had on was Roscoe McClelland, the enemy of the
Guest
podcast.
is a strong word.
Yeah. The last invader we had on was Ross
intruder.
McMillan.
Yeah.
And
I
he-
thought I was going to be the first guest.
You're not.
No biggie. It's fine.
But
That's fine.
interesting.
I mean, no, you are the first guest because Gus is like I said, Gus, Roscoe came in and just destroyed the. He was uninvited.
Yeah. He
and
scratched the walls like a badger.
then he called the next episode boring, which was very funny, but it was offensive. Whereas you, the actual.
this episode.
No. Nina Simone. So,
I love Nina Simone.
There you go, and that's why you're the first official guest.
Yay.
His choice was
Sorry.
another 1994 punk album. It was Punk in Drublic by NOFX. And I thought that was interesting that you both picked 1994 punk albums.
So that's
but
gonna
he
be
was
the one.
saying about you.
Wait till you hear what he said about you.
What?
What was it?
Right. I said,
I don't know.
He said I picked the sellout band.
no. He said, who's Krystal picking? I said, Green Day. He said, really? I said, yeah. Krystal used to be a big stoner. And he said, no way.
Whoa.
You
Off,
taking that?
Roscoe.
I think
What
you're
the
the most.
fuck?
When you moved over here, all
I
you
seem like a stoner.
Yeah.
That was what all my material was about when I first started.
yeah, smoking
Yeah.
weed in the park and with all the mums and dads and stuff.
Yeah.
What are you gonna say to him?
I'm gonna say fuck you, Roscoe, you little
Yes,
bitch.
this is how we're trying to boost our
You
podcast
and
numbers.
Pat.
Let
Sorry,
leave
Pat.
Pat out of
I'm
it,
sorry,
please. Pat's a
Pat.
nice guy, right? Okay.
Congrats on the baby, Pat.
Pat's never hurt a fucking fly in his life. And you
he's a nice guy.
You guys are picking on
I
him.
didn't pick on him. I pick him up.
Boo, 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 boo.
Can I do YouTube comment of the week? Because I can't really figure out.
I've
a
got
way
one
to-
too.
Oh, great.
First ever guest YouTube comment of the week.
Wow.
This one's from YouTube. Unhinged YouTube comment of the
I hope it's not the
week.
same one I picked.
Okay, I found this on the VH1 documentary about Dookie. And this comment goes, this was 7 years ago. He said, I always loved 39/Smooth. That was the first album. Was a fan before Dookie, and when it came out, I was a designated driver. Had a girl I was trying to pick up in my car, and she said what I was listening to sucked. 6 months later, was begging me to make her a copy. Next to that bitch.
What did it
Does he really write bitch?
Yeah. With 4 exclamation marks after the bitch.
Wow.
And what does that mean to next a bitch?
Next that bitch?
Next to that.
I nixed that bitch.
This is what from
Oh,
you.
Nix.
No, next.
Oh.
Like the shop.
Oh.
He sent her
like
to
a-
the shop next.
Yeah. Go to next.
That
Give me some
was for
cord
my-
trousers, bitch.
That was from a user called God's Punching Bag. What's your one?
Okay, mine was on just on the Jesus of Suburbia song on the official Green Day deal. Okay, it's from somebody called Thug Aim, and he says,
Yes.
This is quite long.
Great. I love a
This
long
is
one.
something that I used to get at Chris for not being able to self-edit the
It's not
YouTube comments.
self-editing, it's other editing.
It's all really good. I remember trying to get away from heartache I brought upon myself. It was when I got my first tricycle. It's like, because I've never been comfortable on 2 wheels. My father, having a terrible collision, might have scared the equilibrium out of me because he was never quite the same after that, and I fear it's getting worse. And he's so scared of getting surgery. Maybe he's afraid of not waking up, or he's got things too good with his wife by his side and the son that came back. I wanted him to at least give himself a chance, but I don't know how to get him to see reason, and the frustration drove me to mock him as if that would antagonize him into living his life. He probably thinks that I wish him dead at times. Things got dramatic, physical. But honestly, I'd rather have him regain his mobility so he could ride this wonderful gift he got for me, the tricycle, I assume. I don't even know if he understood what I was going through, but for the first time, I was achieving a velocity that made me feel alive for the first time without being relegated to passenger status. This is the song that I would be blasting at max volume. See, now it gets to the point
Right, yeah,
of why
yeah.
he's
I
saying
was wondering what had to do with Jesus' birthday.
this is the real gift he gave me, and he just followed up with a pretty damn good one for my birthday. Thanks, Pop. That's it.
Oh my god, great.
Can I just say, wonderful cold reading from Krystal there.
Really
you.
good cold
The
reading.
best cold reading we've seen on the podcast because I'm notoriously quite bad at it, and Christopher is. Let's not Let's not go into that. But yeah, great cold
you.
reading. The tricycle,
Really good. But
I was really
as good as me.
I was upset because I was like looking at a lot of Green Day shit, and I was really looking for Unhinged YouTube comments, and I couldn't find one that was good. I read that one and I rejected it. I didn't think it was unhinged enough.
Wow.
So
It's on Krystal's cutting room floor, and that makes your your go too. I have a comment from John what's his surname? From
John Linden. He was in a film I watched recently.
Yes.
Jerry Stiller, Janine Garofalo. It's called
John Lydon from the Sex Pistols, was it?
He played the small towns film festival curator.
Really?
And it's called Independent, and it's so funny. It's like an unknown indie film.
I can't imagine he's a very good actor.
Terrible. He ruins it. He ruins the whole film. He's like as bad an actor as me. His eyebrows are like all over the place. You're like, control your eyebrows, man.
His popularity has gone through real waves, hasn't it? Because it was like Sex Pistols. It was like, oh, who is this monster? This, how rude they are on that, the filth and the fury and all that. And then
Public Image Limited.
Yeah, but then he was on I'm a Celebrity.
He fought an emu.
And like he was like playing with bugs and stuff, and he was doing butter adverts, and then he was popular. But now I think he's gone back round, and I think he's with an anti-vaxxer.
He's like Brexiteer. He's like Nigel Farage with orange hair, isn't he? Fucking fat old creep.
He said of Green Day. So there we are, fending off all that, referencing something that I've cut out, and it pisses me off that years later, a wank outfit like Green Day.
To be fair, they do talk about jacking off a lot.
Hop in and nickel that and attach it to themselves. They didn't earn their wings to do that, and if they were true punk, they wouldn't look anything like they do. So I think it's about the aesthetics that he's having a go.
Wait, who said that? Sorry, I lost all
the guy for the Sex Pistols.
Wow, you think about the tricycle. No, the guy from the Sex Pistols. Yeah.
Really
Here's why that stupid Malcolm McLaren put together the Sex Pistols in just a manufactured way as Westlife for the Spice Girls were put together.
Yeah.
He owned a clothes shop which clothed them to make them look like that. Fucking Billy Joel's in the When I Come Around video wearing a striped jumper. What's not punk about that? That's cool. I like striped jumpers.
Yeah.
The Longview video is where they really lived.
Oh yeah.
Well, they have the whole sort of akadaka thing as well, don't they? Where they wear like shirts and ties and stuff as well, don't they?
After American Idiot.
Yeah.
That was when they were doing a rock opera.
They were already.
This is like when they were wearing like
yeah.
thrift shop.
It's funny that they've got that that stoner aesthetic where it's like, hey, we're just dummies, right? And the album's called Dookie. That's another word for poop. But then inside the album, and this is the stoner's paradox really, is that you look fucking stupid when you're high and you talk stupidly, but you're having these great revelations about life and philosophical, epiphanies. And that's kind of what the album's about, right? It's like, Longview, I'm alone, I'm jacking off. Isn't that sad?
Oh, yeah. Some of it's about that. Yeah.
You disagree?
Well, some of it's about him, like, being bisexual and stuff.
Yeah.
True. But yeah, you're right.
But it's
some
like, it's got this
about,
it's like, hey, isn't it fun being young? And we're all stupid and young, but hey, life is sad. I have panic attacks.
Krystal,
happy music about sad things.
Yeah.
Krystal, have you read the article "The Unsung Queerness of Green Day Lyrics" by Nico Stratus?
I sure did read that.
Oh my god,
great
One
article.
of the best
great article
pieces of music journalism I've read in a long, long time.
I know, it was great. Yeah, it was really good.
He has all these songs on this record like She and
Excuse me?
She
Are you okay?
She was in silence.
She was a silent. She was.
She was. And then Coming Clean is about coming out, and he has all these. And then he took Pansy Division on tour with them, which was this gay punk band, super gay. They got
self-described as super gay.
I'll get some of the lyrics up here for Pansy Division.
Oh yeah.
They got like heckled on tour by all the kind of meathead mainstream losers
who are paying the bills.
No, I mean they're paying the bills, but they're shouting shit at this
gay band,
extremely gay band, Pansy Division.
Well, they would like cross-dress and
I mean they're called Pansy Division. I don't need any more.
Right, but here's the songs. Femme in a black leather jacket, love, love, love. That's so gay. Deck of Death.
They have a song called like Blast You in the Ass or something.
I'm going to be a slut. I was listening to them on the train today and they had...
you were listening on the train between Glasgow and Edinburgh listening to I'm Going to Be Your Slut.
I was listening to what it's called Anthem. I was like, I wonder what that's about. And the chorus goes, we are butt fuckers of rock and roll. We want to suck it to your hole. I don't care if you're top or bottom, just use your butthole. Everyone's gone.
That's so good.
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah.
no offense.
And that was in 1994.
Yeah.
But no coverage of the band ever spoke about the really obvious thing that he was talking about, his sexuality, and he was talking about being bisexual and stuff.
Yeah.
And then people finally talked about it in 2010, and he was like, I'm not gay anymore.
Well, I think he's like married and been married for ages, and he's just kind of like, I don't want people Googling photos of me kissing guys and stuff like that because it's kind of rude to my wife kind of thing. But
it's so fascinating.
Yeah.
Like he had this, because culture just wasn't ready to. That was the big difference between the Gilman Street kind of posse and then like the hardcore punks, is that the hardcore punk thing was so macho, but there was like loads of fun gay stuff happening in the D.I.Y scene in San Francisco. I mean, San Francisco, you're gonna have a bunch of gay fun, aren't you?
Have you been to San Francisco? You are American.
I've been there. Yeah, it's great. Got really good food in San Francisco. I didn't notice it was particularly gay, but I mean,
it was just a joke question, really.
No, I think it's a gay town.
No, it is. I know that. Yeah. But I wasn't expecting Krystal to actually give me an answer on the demographics she noticed when she was there.
So you don't expect me to answer some of your questions, and I'm supposed to just know
if
which
you could,
ones.
please. Please. Wow. Okay. I don't know if we'll have another guest. If it's going to be this fucking difficult.
Wow.
Have you seen the footage of Woodstock, Green Day at Woodstock?
I didn't watch it this time around, but I saw it years ago.
1984.
Yeah. The infamous mud fight. It's fucking crazy. Yeah. They're playing this gig, and everyone's just like, I mean,
they throw mud back at the audience, right? They threw.
Yeah, and they're bringing people on stage and like smearing mud all over them, and I have to say, it doesn't seem like a lot of fun.
The bass player got tackled by security because they thought he was a goofy crowd member, and he chipped his tooth.
It's very white people stuff, isn't it?
Yeah. Very
mud.
I say that as three people on a podcast.
I hate white people.
Fucking white people.
Being white.
But it was before Woodstock 99, which was the proper hell on earth. Everybody's getting sexually assaulted and no one's had a bottle of water for 3 days, and Limp Bizkit are here. It was the kind of one before that where they fucked it up and they thought, we'll do it right next time, and then they made it even worse.
I mean, it does look like they are having fun.
I think they were really pissed off.
Right. That bass player is a bit of a wild card, isn't he? He climbed on the Universal Studios globe. I saw a clip from like VH1 craziest moments in music. And there's like, they're doing an interview with Green Day, and he's like, I'm gonna go climb that globe. And they're like, oh my god, you're crazy.
Who is this guy?
Yeah. And then he climbs the globe, and he's sort of sat there awkwardly like, I climbed it.
Yeah.
I'm punk.
Yeah.
And then he comes awkwardly back down like, why'd you climb that? Like, because I wanted to.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
That's what punk's all about. Do we
I'm a bad boy.
Self-expression. What's your favourite song on this record, Krystal?
Well, you mean like the one I'm going to pick for the thing?
No.
Not necessarily.
No, you can pick a song you don't like.
Any songs in particular that you always rush to?
I mean, I love FOD. I love Fuck Off and Die. I love the songs that change halfway through, like Chump. I love that. I mean, God, I love Longview and Basket Case and that so much, but they're overplayed in my mind because I've heard them so many times.
How often do you like casually put on this album?
At least a couple times a year, but over the past like couple of weeks, I've been playing it every day.
Have you introduced
constantly?
You have children. Have you played Green Day to them?
Yeah, just this week they're like, please no more Green Day. Please turn it off. Please stop.
What are they like? Are they into music, or are they too young to be into
music?
Actually,
my 7-year-old really likes Elton John.
Wait, wow! I've got some news for you about your 7-year-old.
He's a legend.
Yeah. He's a cool guy with a great taste in music.
He also likes video game soundtracks.
Okay, that's
what
fine.
ones?
The Undertale soundtrack. He likes the Undertale soundtrack.
Okay.
Oh my god, phenomenal!
He only has played it a couple times, but he loves the soundtrack.
It's like Megalovania, the boss.
Yeah, it's made to sound old. It's made to sound like a 90s.
8-bit.
Yeah, exactly.
It's insane.
It's actually not bad considering kids' music. I'm like, that's fine.
Yeah, absolutely. What, Elton John and video games?
For adults.
It is. It's not really appropriate for kids, is it?
No.
But I just let him play.
Well, it is because that video game is about like non-violence as a way of life, you know, and it's about kind of genuflecting on when you show up in a town in a video game, you just kill all the monsters. You don't have to. You can befriend them.
Oh, that's nice.
Honestly,
That's why I was confused when I played it. I'm like, what am I supposed to do? I was like, friend.
Yeah, you need to convince them all to like you, and like,
Because I was like,
speak to
this
them.
looks like a game I used to play. Give me that. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
Be
it's a
friends.
commentary. It's
Yeah,
amazing.
It's ridiculous.
You need to play that on your Switch.
I probably will. Here's a question for you that I wondered. So we have a feature. I wasn't going to do that feature, but
What was the feature?
no, I was going to do Dream Sleeves, but it's okay.
Oh yeah, go through.
So the album art for Dookie, quite famous album art, I would say.
Wait, are you going to do the...
We look at the art, we judge the art, we decide if it's good or
Listen,
fart.
do it properly. Don't rush it.
Well, we haven't got long, you know.
How long we got left?
I don't know, it's 20 minutes or so.
Really? I have
Yeah.
to say something before the end. Okay, go
You have
ahead.
to say something before the end.
Say
I have a
stuff the
couple
whole time.
things to say.
Oh, yeah, okay. Right.
What are
Okay.
you looking at over there?
My notes. I don't forget.
Crystal's running for office. She's chosen to announce it on this podcast for some reason.
Please vote for me.
So the Dookie album cover is like a collection of lots of different sort of illustrations of the reference the Long Bay area and I think some lyrics in the album. As
Telegraph Avenue in Berkeley.
yeah, different places where they've played regularly, and I wondered if that was the reasoning behind your own Fringe poster last year, which did the same thing.
Wow.
Which was then, I think, nominated for Best Poster at the Fringe last year.
It was.
Yeah.
Dookie on the
to
brain over here.
disappoint you there, Liam, but no. It might be one of the reasons why I liked Alex Harwood's design.
What's your favourite wee detail in it, Krystal?
I really like Angus Young there on the upper right. He's cool.
I like the Black Sabbath lady from the
Yeah.
first Black Sabbath albums there.
I like the monkey looking at looking at some shit with the thought bubble going, throw?
I liked when I saw the extended version and there was like 3 dogs down here, and I was like, holy shit, there's more to it that I never
Secret
saw
dogs.
before.
Oh my god.
So there was Elmo on the back of it as well, I think, and
Listen,
then they had to cut that out due to potential
Due
legal.
to Elmo's actions.
Yeah. Elmo's cancelled, isn't he? Yeah. that's
Why?
fucked up.
It's racist.
Is he? No.
He's a black guy.
Yeah. Elmo. Yeah.
Anyway.
There was a documentary about the guy called Being Elmo. It's very sweet.
Yeah, I've watched it.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure that there's some accusations about the man.
No.
Really? Not Elmo.
I made that up.
Yeah, no.
No, they took it off because people didn't want to think there was a kids album, and he's effing and jeffing all the way through.
Coben, you're gonna have to double check that,
But it
please,
was
because there's a
Ernie.
spurious allegation if it's inaccurate. But I think that's the case.
Do you know why it's
They
called
remember Ernie
Dookie?
in
It's
the
because they had diarrhea.
They had
A lot.
diarrhea from eating street or like road food.
Yes. It
would
was going to
just
be
eat
called
food off the
Liquid
road.
Dookie. They were going to call it Liquid Dookie, but they thought it was just a bit too gross. I would say this. Here's what I'm going to say. I don't think the album title really... It kind of almost does a disservice to the songs on
good
the
it
album.
is.
It's pop punk, man. It's childish. It's juvenile.
What would you call it, Liam?
Yeah.
Pee pee poo poo. Okay. Yeah, abuse allegations. There you are. So...
Oh, nice job, Coven.
There you go. So, and the man has resigned. And I mean, I can't read that.
The man has resigned.
The man behind Elmo.
There's a new album.
Bummer.
There's a new Elmo now. Okay.
Thank
I always
God.
hated Elmo.
Really?
Yeah, because I liked Sesame Street before Elmo got introduced.
I actually liked.
I
Sesame
fucking
Street,
did. I
before
did.
It blew up,
I
liked it
literally
when Big Bird was
did.
on it.
and then they signed to a major label,
That's
and now
exactly
they're
right.
no longer punk.
Elmo fucking ruined Sesame Street.
Wow.
I always said that before the allegations. I said that.
Yeah.
It's like he is a pedo. I can tell.
Oh my God.
Okay.
So you don't think that even subconsciously that your Fringe poster was a reference to your favorite album?
Yes, that's exactly what it's based on, Liam.
Thank
It was
you.
based on Dookie.
That's what I thought.
You know me so well.
I'm a bit of a psychiatrist, you know. I can see what people are up to.
We're 2 guys reviewing tattoos.
We're more than 2 guys.
We're 3 people reviewing tattoos. We're gonna Google image searching and we'll choose if it's tattoo woohoo or tattoo boo. We're judging ink, yeah, that's what we do. Krystal is leaving. This is Dream Sleeving. We picked the design. Is it bad or just fine? We're dragging our skull, pretentious or dull. You cannot hide, and we will decide if it's tattoo woohoo or tattoo boo-hoo.
Yeah. Since thank you. Yeah. Chris clapping himself. Since reverting to recording 2 episodes in a day, I've come to despise that theme tune even more than I did originally.
It's really long in real life.
Yeah. Twice in a day.
I mean, yeah. You have tattoos.
I do, yeah.
You want to do a live tattoo woohoo?
Yeah.
We did one on Roscoe. We did, yeah. I think.
Did he take his shirt off?
Yes, he did. And we're not asking you to do that before anybody gets upset.
And call me a bitch.
Take your shirt off, bitch. No, please don't take your shirt off.
That's really
please.
disrespectful.
Yes,
sorry.
yes.
Well, I think I can show them without taking it actually off.
Yeah.
So I've got these birds here.
Got the
That was my
birds.
first one
Yep.
ever.
How old
Yes,
were you when
okay.
you got the birds?
24, 25.
Yep.
Pretty. That I thought I was being really original. Seen that shit everywhere.
And was it just you liked the design, or was there like some?
I liked the design. Also,
Yeah.
I was too stupid to realize that because like I had watched like tattoo reality shows, and I was like, every tattoo artist just draws it for you. But that's not true. They download it off the internet and they just print it. And then I'm too polite to say anything. I'm like, okay.
Mine's
So-
is downloaded off the internet. What I mean?
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
the Wikipedia picture.
I think
of
all
a
mine are
The
downloaded off the
Wikipedia page
internet.
for birds.
I nearly got a bird tattoo. I nearly got a little. There's a Bright Eyes lyric where it's like, "You took a small silver wreath and pinned it onto me and said this one will bring you." That's not even about the bird actually, but it's something to do with the wreath.
Well, it's been a great tattoo woohoo so far. I don't think we can ever realistically, unless it's Roscoe, give our guests tattoo boohoos.
No, come on. Give it a boohoo. I don't give a fuck. Come on.
No, please don't
Woohoo
pressure
from
me
me.
into
Because I'm a
woohoo.
woman, you're not going to give it. You're not
No,
going to give
it's
it a
not.
boohoo.
Oh, Coben has put his hand up and said boohoo.
You don't like
Okay.
it? What the fuck, Coben?
Yeah, man, that's fucked up, man. That's actually very misogynistic.
Really?
Of you. And don't ask me to explain why.
Coben's
You
such a
have cherries as well, though,
I do
right?
have cherries right there.
The
I
cherry,
love the cherries.
The cherries are very cool.
They
Very
look like
cool.
balls, though, don't they?
That's why I like
Only
them.
if your
Big.
balls have been CBT'd to fuck.
CBT.
What's CBT?
Cognitive behavioural therapy.
Cock and ball torture. They look
Right, I
like
see.
balls.
No,
What's
that makes much more
happened to
sense.
Someone's balls that they're bright red with stem coming out it.
We operate in different. We live in different parts of the internet. You're on cock and ball torture. I'm at cognitive
Not on,
behavioural
I just
therapy.
know of it. I'm very,
Yeah, very
you know.
well, very well. Apparently, you can spot it on site.
You don't even know San Francisco's gay.
I did know that.
San Francisco.
I've just never been. That's all. That's a big woohoo. So we do Billy.
I got this while I was pregnant with my second child. When you're not supposed to do that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, can you
did
get
it.
tattoos whilst pregnant?
What, does the baby
I
come out with a
didn't-
little cherry on his head?
He's
Somebody
permanently
tattooed
inked.
this baby.
He's got ink inside his little heart.
Oh.
No, he doesn't.
Okay,
He's fine.
first tattoo woohoo. This is Billy Joe.
He's got so many tattoos.
Just he does. I only picked 2 and then one that isn't. Okay, I'll
Okay, so
explain
let's
what
for
we're
the
getting.
audio listeners, let's make sure we keep them involved here.
Okay.
So first off, Chris has blown up a picture of Billy Joe's crotch area,
Yeah.
and he's wearing one of those sort of lame punk belts that were popular in the year 2000. You could get them
not
from
lame.
Top Man,
I had one.
and above that, you have
the fuck up.
you have the word punk written very very tinily.
This is
I
punks.
think it says punks
Oh, it
with,
says
with an
punk
X.
with an X.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. What's the X? What's the reasoning behind that?
So it's right next to Snail Trail on a kind of very sensitive area, the hip, and it says punks. And I think the meaning is because he is a punk and his
Right.
friends are punks.
Okay, that's clever. I think. I mean, I just see when I see little tiny tattoos like that. I just think if you are going to a tattoo place,
No, that's like his friend did it.
right?
But he has so many.
Yeah.
It's not like he's not going all in with tattoos.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? He
yeah.
just casually gets tattoos all the fucking time.
I think that's
obviously.
cool to have little sailor tattoos
Yeah.
that are just. I had half an hour and my friend had a needle and I wanted to get hepatitis.
I'm going to give it a woohoo.
So
Re-
boohoo from me.
Really? I think.
Yeah.
I think. Come on. I think it's lame.
I think it's good.
Boohoo from
That's a
Liam.
boohoo from me. Okay, tattoo number 2, please, Coben. Now we're talking.
This is Billy Joel. Is it Billy Joel or Billy Joe? Billy
No,
Joel.
Billy
Billy
Joel
Joe.
is from New
Billy
York.
Joe Armstrong.
That's his main thing. He's from New York.
He's the piano
This
man.
is Billy Idol Armstrong, and it's the baby from Roger Rabbit.
Yes, it's a
Foul-mouthed cigar chomping baby who's an
It-
actor.
It's a sleeve. It's a full color sleeve tattoo. It's got the baby from Who Framed Roger Rabbit smoking a cigar and kicking a football He's floating above, I think.
He's not kicking a football. That's a football tattoo need it.
Well, it's under his foot.
The baby's not playing football. Have you seen Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Messi doesn't show up along with Daffy Duck.
Yeah, I don't think it's a historically accurate tattoo either, though. There's a baby smoking a cigar.
That happened in the film.
And he's floating above, I think, a breakdancing clown, from what I can see.
That's unrelated.
What's
We're
that?
just talking about the baby here.
No, I'm going to talk about everything that I see, actually.
What is that?
There's
EBFM, that's...
P. It's a P. That's
a
not
P.
an F.
Extremely...
Krystal is good at cold reading, man. She knows all the letters.
All the letters.
It's EDP.
EDP. Oh, Liam's big head's in the way I can't see the screen.
EDP.
I've got a normal... Actually, I do have quite a big head.
Yeah.
Hat
Can
shopping
you
is a
move
chore.
it?
Everybody piss on me.
Yeah. Everybody piss on me. That baby from Who Framed Roger Rabbit as a tattoo with his little diaper, smoking a big cigar, is cool as fuck.
I like that, yeah.
That's
I'm giving it a woohoo. I think EBPM is something punk music, and it's like everybody in the band has it on them.
Everybody punk music.
Everybody bum punk music. We bum it.
That's fucked
All
up.
of his tattoos are quite like. on
Okay,
brand.
before you go to the next one, Coleman, before you go into it, this isn't... I tried to find ones for Dirnt, because I love him, because we have the same bass idol, but I couldn't actually find any good close-ups, so instead I got a fan tattoo. So this is a fan tattoo of Mike
Okay,
Dirnt.
we're breaking new grounds here.
What?
What do you think of that?
That's awful.
For the listener, how would you describe it?
Okay, so there, a man with tiny nipples
They're small, aren't they?
has got a tattoo of a guitar, and instead of the
It's
like
a bass guitar.
yeah, it's a bass guitar, and it's slowly morphing
It's a Fender Precision, actually.
into what's his name's head.
Mike
You know when
Dirnt.
you draw something with a pen and then you accidentally lean on it and then it smears at the bottom? That's what the bottom. of
It's
that
like doing the
man's
screen face. His tongue is
looks
poking out. It's black and white. It looks like it's the charcoal tattoo. It's bad. It's really bad.
It's horrible. Why is the guitar going into the bass going into
Well,
his
that's the
neck?
head. It's the head of the bass, isn't it? That's what they call that part of the guitar. So it's a kind of,
But it's
it's a kind of clever piece of wordplay. I
I
think.
don't want the audio listener to be under any misapprehension that it is like sort of casually like
His head.
morphing into
No.
his head. It looks like one tattoo half on top of
Yeah.
another tattoo.
Two different styles. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like you've accidentally taken like a photo too fast and something's moving and it's morphed into one thing.
I'm giving it a woohoo.
Imagine imagine you went to a Green Day concert, right? And you're at a bar,
Yeah.
and you get chatting to a guy, and you hit it off. You want to come back to my place and listen to Green Day on Dookie on vinyl, and you're like, fuck it, why not? It's been a while. You head back, you put it on, you have
Are you
a
a
smooch.
woman or a man in this scenario?
Why does it matter?
yeah, why does it matter?
Just so I can imagine.
You're you.
So I can get my rocks off.
What
And
am I
then-
wearing in this?
Basket Case is playing.
How sheer is my
You
top?
peel off this man's shirt, and what do you see but this tattoo? Instantly, I think you're like, I'm going to go home.
I'm going to lick it.
You're going to lick the tattoo.
I'm going to lick the tongue.
You're going to lick the tongue from top to bottom.
I would never in a million years guess that that's Mike Dirnt.
No, come on. He's got the wee eyes.
Mm,
He's got little
No,
wee-
You know what? You're right. You've convinced me. That looks.
it's a low
You're
bar,
right.
isn't it? No, come on. He's got eyes.
He's got eyes.
Oh, those little Mike Dirnt eyes.
Yeah, no, that's a boohoo. That's a big
Right,
boohoo.
right, okay.
I'm
Terrible.
actually really upset by it. I'm boohooing all the way home. Thank you for sharing that, Christopher.
Okay.
Well, so, any standout tracks on the album for you?
I keep trying to listen to stuff like FOD and Chump, and even the first couple of tracks. I think Longview. No, what's the one? Welcome to Paradise was on the album before this, but they re-recorded it. Very similar to what Modest Mouse did with Lounge on their first two records. And see what you were saying about like, oh, I got away for this and I got into like kind of sad 80s indie music. To me, this has the emotional range and depth of a sad
Yeah.
80s indie song, but it has the upbeat music
Yes.
of pop punk.
I probably agree. I was not mature enough to admit that at the time.
Well, I would like to go back in time and slap you.
And
When you
also,
were a baby.
the kids were a tattooed baby. The kids were not listening to this; they were listening to American Idiot, which is I don't think it's the same thing. But I love When I Come Around. Great
Yeah.
song.
see the basket case thing where he's like, I went to a shrink who analyzed my dreams. He said it's like a sex that's bringing me down. I went to a whore. Thank God I didn't call you that. I mean, bitch is bad enough, but using the W word here, and not boof. I think that was the first time I ever heard of the kind of trope, the kind of catcher in the rye / taxi driver trope of going to a prostitute and kind of spilling your head beans.
Also, he makes the prostitute a man. Oh. He says, I went to a shrink to analyze my dreams. She said it's lack of sex is bringing me down. I went to a whore. He said my life's a bore. So quit my whining because it's bringing her down, the shrink, right?
Oh, I always thought it was who said my life, but he
makes it a man. Yeah. Again, that's changing the gender to him.
Yeah, man.
Really blow your mind there. You thought the hooker was a woman. You thought the doctor was a man.
You think all women are prostitutes, don't you?
Yeah, you know what? I do. I still do. And I stand by it.
What are your favorite songs on the album, Liam?
Well, I love a load of them.
When I come around.
Basket Case is great. Welcome to Paradise, Longview, even Burnout. It starts great.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I declare I don't care no more. Great way to.
I say this for many albums. There's 1 or 2 filler songs in here.
Okay, what is fucking filler? Tell me what's filler.
Look, it's like half an hour long.
Yeah, it could be shorter. Come on, who's who's?
Do you like?
It's 33 minutes long.
Yeah.
Do you like All by Myself? The wee song at the end.
Yeah, so that can be cut.
All by myself. No, it can't.
Sassafras Roots can probably go. In the End can probably go. In the end, it's like nothing even matters.
Hold on, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Texting about my child.
Excuse me, my agent phoned me, and he's very much my child.
I think you find Krystal's child is her agent. Okay, so he's booking in gigs for all the time.
That's how she got this.
He's a fucking. He emailed us.
He did say he was like, I want to listen to this podcast that you're on today. And I was like,
no.
I know. I was like, sweetie is going to be like swearing. He's like, I don't care.
They're going to call me a bitch a lot. They always do.
I know. He's so sweet. Okay. I got to say something. I know because we're running out of time. My uncle opened for Green Day.
What?
Actually, correction.
Opened what?
They opened for his band. Okay, so
what was his group called?
So his group was called Half Rack, and they're based out of. But that was they renamed it Half Rack. The original name was Big Man Small Helmet. Seriously, I know. How good is that name? So shout out Uncle Terry. I actually wrote to him to get the full story because I've heard this for years, but I was like, what really happened? So in Corvallis, Oregon, there was like a very small punk scene of like 6 or 7 bands. He was in one of the bands. He played drums. And then right after Kerplunk was released in 1991, Green Day toured up and down the West Coast. And they were friends with someone at Oregon State University, which is where Corvallis is, where my uncle lived and stuff. And so they put together a house party so that Green Day could play. So, and they knew it was a Sunday night, so they knew the cops were going to break it up. And so they were like, Green Day asked, they were not famous yet, right? Just getting a little following on the West Coast. And they asked my uncle, can we please go first so that we can get as much of a set in as possible and then we can head up the road? And he was like, yeah, that's fine. And they were like, can we play your instruments so that we don't have to set up our shit to save time?
Yeah.
And they were like, fine.
Oh my God, that's a bad thing to do in the punk scene.
I know.
I used to be in a punk band and we did that once and the other guys hated us.
Wow.
Well, they let them do it. And I don't know if he's changed the story to make them not dicks because he knows that they're Green Day now. But yeah, so they played. They were great. And then when Terry's band went on, Billy Joe and Mike Dirnt went to the back to smoke weed. And Trey Cool stayed out to watch them. And Terry was playing. While he was playing, one of his cymbals fell over. And Trey caught it and put it back on the thing for him.
Trey, very cool indeed.
Yeah.
That's the whole story.
That fucking rips. That's great.
Yeah.
Don't you hate when you're doing a gig and the fucking headliner's like, oh, can I go on?
Yeah.
Can I
I know, God.
You? I've got to get back to bloody Leith. No, I need to go home. Shut the fuck up. Do your spot.
Yeah, seriously. Stay.
Who are you talking about there? Who lives in Leith?
Me. I do that. I want to go home and go to my bed.
Did you enjoy an album, Krystal Evans?
Hold on. We need to pick up fucking playlist songs.
No, we'd enjoy it. We'd do that first, and then we'd do the playlist after.
I don't think that's how we do it, but that's okay. We can this time.
Krystal, you've listened to the episode.
I think you do you enjoy an album very last? I think that's what you do.
That makes sense, doesn't it? It's called Enjoy an Album.
Yeah.
We would end on that.
Pretty sure.
Yeah.
Every week we add 2 songs apiece to the Enjoy an Album playlist, aka Enjoy a Playlist. You can access that on Spotify and Apple Music. We add 1 song from the record plus 1 song inspired by the conversation. Does Half Rack have any stuff on Spotify?
So no, he did tell me though that one of the first song they ever learned was fucking Mud Honey.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Grunge as F.
Touch Me I'm Sick by Mud Honey. So I was gonna put that on.
Great.
I listened to it though.
Didn't like it.
Why put it on?
I'm not gonna put it on. I'm just saying that would be cool, wouldn't it?
Krystal is actually doing a great job of fulfilling Enjoy an Album lore by bringing up a load of annoying songs that she wouldn't put on. Because that is what you do every week.
Sorry, I know.
Don't fucking do that.
Okay, do you guys know that song?
Yeah, Mud Honey's cool.
Okay, I'll put that one on then. That's
That's
fine.
sick.
I mean, have you got an alternative that you prefer to put on?
Well, I was gonna put on, because like Green Day did all these side projects, and they had Foxborough Hot Tubs, which is like a really cheesy kind of side thing they did.
like
and I was
garage
gonna
punk,
put
isn't it?
Yeah, well, that kind of it's even more poppy than they usually go.
Well, if you'd
Power
like to put that on, then put that on.
I'm gonna put on. I'll actually put on because I think the Mud Honey song, like it's too
I'm not gonna tell you
hardcore.
what
Like
to
it's
do.
just not.
Okay, too much.
No offense, Terry.
You gotta
Love
put
you.
the Foxborough Hot Tugs on?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll put on 27th Avenue Shuffle by the Foxborough. Hot
Okay,
Tubs.
and what about a song from the album?
Oh, Fuck Off and Die, please.
Fuck off. Yeah.
Also, the song I'll put on
Just
is
put a song on the album. That'd be good. And then you can go, Jesus Christ, you really are a bitch.
We've already got In the End by Linkin Park on it, so I don't know why it's even on this. But I'm gonna put on Longview.
yeah,
Because the
good one,
bass line is just... And see, my favourite Green Day thing is when you can tell... just by the sound of it, you can tell his arms going like... Ding, da-ding, 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 da-ding. You can tell it's like coming up higher than his ear. Mm-hmm. And that riff... See when they're just like... Ding, 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 ding. It's like... Ding, 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 ding. Oh, fucking hell, man.
That's so good.
Sick shit. I'm going to be a slut by Pansy Division
Wow.
on the playlist.
See, again, I listened to Pansy Division and I was like, okay, but okay, fair, all right.
Yeah.
That was such a passive aggressive. Oh no, I listened to that. I don't think.
Well,
That's right. If that's the sort of thing you like.
I mean, you guys are like, so like, precious about the list.
I'm
and
not precious.
You're not precious.
I'm not
okay.
precious.
Are you not?
How dare
Liam's
you?
precious about the playlist.
Oh.
2 songs apiece.
Yeah, no, that's
No more.
We
No
have
extras.
rules. We have rules
Fuck
for a
the rules,
reason.
man. I'm a punk.
No.
I'm a punker. What are your choices this week, Liam?
I'm actually I'm gonna put on basket case is not going on it, so which is surprising.
Why not?
Because none of us have put it on it, so I'm gonna put on when I come around.
See, if I put on basket
Yeah.
case, would you put on Longview?
Basket Case gets a lot of airplay generally, so I think
Yeah, well, it
put
doesn't
on.
need to go on the playlist.
So does When I Come Around. So does Longview.
When I
It's fine.
come around. And
What's that song about? When I Come Around?
It's about him. It's his wife, Adrian. It's about his wife, Adrian. Like, they're just both like bored, whatever.
Yeah, from Rocky. It's about Adrian from Rocky.
It's about-
Maybe I'll put on some Billy Joel as my because since we called Billy Joe Armstrong Billy
That would be
Joel about
funny.
100 times. I think we'll put on some Billy Joel. I don't know what song yet. I'll decide
Piano Man.
later. Piano Man by Billy Joel. There you go. Done.
Don't you think that the last track?
Scenes from an Italian restaurant, as we have a restaurant too.
Yeah. Yes. Sure. Okay. Right.
Dumbest shit I've ever heard.
No, I'm really happy.
And that's the clip.
If I can get a playlist track that annoys the guest, then I'm happy.
So offended. I can't do fucking anything without someone bringing up my husband's career.
Wow.
You're part of the restaurant as well.
I am. It's true.
Yeah, shut up. Bitch.
Krystal, you have been a wonderful first ever guest.
Thanks.
Not including.
Roscoe wasn't even a guest.
Yeah, he invaded like.
Stuart and Shane were co-hosts.
You know when you play Dark Souls and you get invaded, and you're like halfway through a mission, you're enjoying it, and they fucking ruin it. That's what Roscoe did. Okay.
Yeah.
Whereas this
invaded.
is
Can't
like.
wait to hear that episode. I haven't listened to it yet.
Whereas this is like we've invited a friend over to play Mario Kart.
Aw, that's so nice.
Yeah.
And you've chose Rainbow Road 4 times.
Yeah.
And we've thought,
That's fine.
This is a dick move.
That's the course she's good at, I guess. That's okay.
Practicing?
I literally do love Rainbow Road.
And you,
I do. I love
you've
it.
given us one of the controls with drift, stick drift, and you know.
Keep fucking.
I'll be like, it doesn't turn off on that one. I can't turn it off.
Yeah.
Sorry.
However, we are
did you
still
enjoy the
beating
album?
you each time.
That did actually happen.
Did you enjoy an album?
Yes.
Did you enjoy an album?
Yes, I did. Yes, it's a good album, a good band. That then they progressively, I think, became less and less interesting. I don't really like American Idiot onwards, but I know lots of people do.
You don't like American Idiot?
No.
Wow. Okay.
If we, would
all.
you be interested in coming on in like a couple of like years and doing American Idiot, or like coming on
Couple
in,
of
like,
years?
Couple of years.
just like
I know,
as a-
Christmas, you were good. You're not that good.
maybe-
Maybe we'll come back in
or maybe
2025.
maybe sooner as like a Patreon exclusive, maybe in a couple
Yeah,
of
I mean,
months.
we'll discuss it off pod. I don't, you know.
Glad I'm good enough for the
Liam's
Patreon people.
so non-committal.
No, yes, I will come back and do this whenever because honestly, I love this podcast. You guys are doing a great job. It's really, really good.
You
Sorry to
can
be
check
so
out
here,
Krystal's
but let's
own
get this.
podcast. What is
No,
it
no,
about?
don't.
Roseanne?
Yeah.
We're not really doing it anymore.
Okay.
Never mind. Never mind.
Crystal, where can people follow you on social media?
Instagram, all the usuals. Do you want me to actually say the handle?
It's
No,
up to
I'll
you.
do it in the
At
intro. Don't worry
MS
about it.
Krystal Evans is Instagram.
At
Krystal-
MS?
No, wait.
You don't have MS, do you?
Microsoft Krystal Evans. Cockable torture Krystal Evans.
It's gonna be my whole thing for this year's Fringe. I'm gonna no.
Right, Jesus Christ.
Wow.
Krystal Evans comedy, I think, is Instagram. MS Krystal Evans is Twitter.
Okay.
Where's the MS come
This has
from?
been
Miss. Or Ms. or whatever.
wow.
You don't have a dead husband.
This has been the smoothest plug.
I'm gonna be Mrs.
I've ever-
That's- even though I am technically a Mrs. but it's-
Well, it's been great having you.
Thank you so much for coming on, Krystal. This has been Enjoy an Album podcast with special guest Krystal Evans and normal co-hosts Chris McCarthy-Wood and Lee Wifnell. Thank you for listening.
Have a great
Thanks,
week. Bye.